national. Vous devez développer les réseautages. La restitution aussi, parce que ce n'est pas toutes les ONG qui ont la chance de venir au niveau du Forum des ONG. Faites des restitutions, faites véhiculer les bons messages, les bonnes pratiques.
The African Union has been seized with challenges of forced displacement for many years, retarding in many areas socio-economic gains. Various global as well as regional normative frameworks have been adopted to address the protection and assistance of persons forcibly displaced on the continent, including the Kampala Convention. In addition, there are a number of norms and policies which are put in place for the protection and promotion of women's rights.
I urge all African leaders, all civil society individuals who are working on reproductive health rights of women and also working on women issues to work hand in hand and improve the representation of women in governance, particularly around the decision-making areas, because you cannot talk about human rights, the rights of particular sex without including them in the discussion table. We need women to be part of the discussion table to make decisions that concerns their body, particularly young women. Young women are always left out of the conversation. We need our young women to be part of it, because issues of women's rights is a human rights issue, and we cannot treat it as people who do not exist and make decisions for them.
It will work on states, parties, to begin to implement proactive legislation, proactive disclosures of information, and also to encourage punishment for agencies that refuse to disclose information of state parties to their citizens across Africa.
We are actually also using the forum to highlight the particular challenges being faced in Mauritania as a country, to scale up the need and the awareness of the challenges that are faced by these spaces of concern, both in Mauritania and in also the North African countries of Libya, Morocco and Algeria, because what we have observed over time is that there is increased human rights abuses, increased opening and operations of detention centers, and also the abuse, fundamental abuse, rights abuse of the inability of individuals to move freely.
I also noted that the freedom of expression in the shrinking civic space for civil society organizations cut across the sub-regions. What I also appreciated was that there is need for human rights organizations to have adequate preparations at the national level before coming to these platforms. I also appreciated the presence of the commissioners from the Africa Commission. It also helped me to appreciate their commitment to support non-state actors. My key recommendation is that as we move forward, African governments become more receptive and create a platform where human rights defenders are able to advocate for their rights, are able to engage with the various government institutions, and also the security officials need to be aware of the human rights of citizens and be able to create a conducive environment for these rights to be observed.
Many African Union countries have adopted good constitutions and human rights standards and norms, but the gap between standards and practice remain very wide. However, these instruments have not been fully implemented through domestication, compliance, reporting and enforcement at national and regional level. Time for change is now. Implementation now. time's up. We are pressing for progress.
The change is now. Let's act. Thank you.